A difficult start, but just a start. Still plenty of time to get things right. Tuesday's stunning comeback win over Queen's Park Rangers could be the springboard that gets Argyle going as they look to pick up their first points of the Sky Bet League One season at Lincoln this afternoon. The LNER Stadium is the setting for another early season cracker. Argyle haven't won here since 2002, but equally they haven't lost at Lincoln for their last two visits either. The hosts will be smarting from defeat to newly promoted AFC Wimbledon last weekend. Both won in midweek and both will be desperate for the points. All of the action is coming your way here on Argyle TV. Hello, good afternoon. This is the pre-match show from Matchday Live on Argyle TV, bringing you all of the build-up ahead of kick-off at the LNER Stadium later on this afternoon, just over half an hour's time. Now, Tom Cleverley will be hoping that today is the day when he picks up his first points as Plymouth Argyle head coach. Tuesday night's comeback win in the Carabao Cup against Queen's Park Rangers could well be the line in the sand that was needed for them to go on a little bit of a run from now on in. Lincoln are the opponents today. A good opening day victory over Reading for them was followed up by defeat at AFC Wimbledon last weekend, but likewise they won and progressed in the Cup midweek over League Two Harrogate, and this will be a stern test for Argyle, that is for sure. Reminder that if you haven't already, you can get your match passes, both audio and video, from our website right now. Head to pafc.co.uk for all of the details. Now, helping me through this afternoon is the former Argyle defender Mark Edworthy. And Mark, another fascinating afternoon ahead, even though we are still so early on in the season.
Yeah, it is, and we talked about last week, didn't we, Charlie, about not helping show them the league table so early on. But it's all about winning games, and hopefully the midweek victory against QPR will give them confidence today going into the Lincoln game. It's going to be a good game. Both teams have won in midweek, and looking forward to this one. Yeah,
a win in midweek was crucial, wasn't it?
It certainly was. Even though it's a cup game, I think both teams, fielded their up-and-coming youngsters, their future stars of the clubs. And it was a great comeback. We keep saying we'd like to score first. That'd be great if we do that this afternoon. Coming back was great credit to the club, and hopefully that's going to give them confidence today to go in to play against a tough Lincoln side.
Yeah, just talk to us about a player's mindset, about just getting a win, because Tom spoke about it, and we'll hear from him a little bit later on about he didn't want to use the phrase turning point in the season so early on, but just because it has been a little bit negative noise around not getting signings in, about having a bad start to the season, a couple of injuries, all of that. But can it, for a player, just a simple thing like a win, change the way you think about it?
Yeah, it definitely does. I think the training regime changed. You come in bouncing, you got to step in, a really good forward step. And his confidence is huge, isn't it? Winning games is a great feeling, and defeats are not good. You can reflect on it, as we said about the last couple of games against Bolton. They'll review that, but the opportunity, you've got to put it right quickly, and we did that in midweek against QPR. But it changed everything. I think confidence is a huge thing. Players come with a smile on their faces. Training then becomes a bit more fun, and the detail has already been done for this game, and it'd be great if we get another victory this afternoon.
Yeah, it absolutely would. Reminder that Argyle have two home games to come after this as well in the league, against Leyton Orient and against Blackpool, so it would be a good little springboard if they could get a bit of momentum going into that. As you can see there, Argyle players have arrived. There's a lot of young faces in the squad, as there was on Tuesday night, but how many of them will have kept their place in Tom Cleverley's starting 11? The answer to that is not many, because the reshuffle in midweek has kind of been shuffled back, so it is just the one change from last Saturday's defeat to Bolton. It sees Brendan Wiredu come back in the heart of the defence. So he is coming in for Brendan Galloway. Likely that Cornell Sutra go out to the right, Soranola from the left-hand side. No space, of course, for Jamie Patterson in the squad because of his injury. It does mean that the likes of Caleb Watts, Joe Hatch and Tegan Finn are all waiting in the wings, as is two-goal hero Owen Asani as well from the bench. But changing back to what presumably Tom Cleverley thinks is his most favoured, strongest 11, bearing like one or two players, but that it kind of looks like it plays out that way, Mark, doesn't it?
Yeah, experienced back four have come back in, and I think midweek give them a chance to, you get some really good trainers, Charlie, but then you've got to go and deliver it on the pitch as well. And I think the game midweek against QPR with Joe Hatch obviously coming in and doing extremely well. Tegan Finn, young players showed they could handle the situation. Yes, we know QPR are a young side as well, but you still got to go and perform in front of a crowd at home. We've had some great nights at Home Park, and they are capable. But I think what he'll look at that, he knows now he can bring them on, potentially start them in the League One campaign. A lot of these grounds the players have not been to, so it's a different environment for them. But you've got to go there and win games, and hopefully we can start this afternoon. Yeah,
winning games you need to score goals. We did get 3 in midweek. You mentioned Owen Hosseini. He scored 2 of those. Not involved today, but it's just quite striking to see that the goals and the chances that we got in the game came from putting the ball into an area where you're going to score from.
Quality areas as well. And I think as a striker, you build on confidence and scoring 2. Perhaps he thought he would have started today. But coming off from the bench, he'll certainly have something to prove. And to come back from that as well, don't forget we come from behind. And it was a great night here, 3-2 victory. And hopefully, like I said, we've got to go into the game today full of confidence and hopefully get that important result on the road.
I wonder whether Bim Peppel, in from the start today, is thinking, right, he's got 2 goals now and I'm playing. I've got to now score. Or I've got, maybe it might bring him on a little bit to think, right, well, there's competition, big competition.
Yeah, striker in form is great to see, and someone who's scored 2 goals. And as we rightly know, Charlie, competition for places is key to any success. And that's certainly what we need here. A lot of fresh faces, a lot of youngsters, a lot of players who want that shirt, and the training then levels go up a notch. And that will start by breeding victories, and hopefully we can get one this afternoon.
Yeah, let's have a look at the side that we're up against this afternoon. Lincoln City, as we mentioned, 1-1 and lost 1. They are still without centre-back Jackson, who got sent off last weekend. Michael Skabala's made a couple of changes from the side that did lose to AFC Wimbledon 7 days ago. Freddie Draper keeps his place, having scored in midweek just off the experienced James Collins. Rico Hackett, another forward-thinking player who Argyle will want to look out for. Familiar name in the back 4 as well, Sonny Bradley. And in Bradley and Draper, Collins, Mark, they've got 2 experienced players.
Yeah, they certainly have. And going back to sort of traditional 4-4-2, that could quite change. You see a lot of teams where they're set up the formations, they match each other. But yeah, lots of experience in there. And don't forget they've had 2 good victories this season so far. Obviously one in the cup and that opening day victory against Reading, which was a great result. Obviously losing then against Wimbledon. So they want to perform in front of their home fans. Argyle want to get the on the road victory if they can away from home. We had that awful thing looming over our last season. That's gone. It's time to look forward now, and hopefully we can start with a victory away from home.
Mentioned Freddie Draper coming back in. Young striker came through the academy at Lincoln. Reward. This is the whole point. Reward for scoring in midweek, and he got a few goals last season as well. But it's faith shown in a player who did well, like we were saying with Tegan and Joe Hatch. Freddie Draper scored in midweek and he gets a start today.
Yeah, it's interesting what managers do. They like competition for places. They like a reaction off players as well. And some managers just prefer to keep with the starting lineup that's won games. Others managers chop and change. So it's their thought process. They'll know they're part of the team to win the game. And hopefully it's the right decision this afternoon.
Yeah, just also good to mention that Conor McGrandle's making his 150th appearance for Lincoln this afternoon as well. Let's head into the dressing rooms now. And it's another chance, of course, as Mark has been saying, for Argyle to pick up their first points of the season. Tom Cleverley, the head coach, is confident that midweek win will boost confidence. How are you kind of thinking and feeling ahead of this weekend?
Yeah, well, you see a lot more of the style of play on Tuesday, certainly with the ball. So I'm glad that those messages are being absorbed by the players. I thought we've got good competition in the squad. We're a small squad at the minute, but we've got good competition in some places with some really good performances Tuesday. So that's developed, and yeah, it's a really big game for us Saturday. Let's not beat around the bush after losing the first 2 games. But like you said, the carrot of approaching 2 home games after 2 wins is massive for us. We know it'll be tough, we know it'll be direct, we know it'll be really bite down on your gum shield, but then it's about showing our quality as well and imposing ourselves on the game Saturday to get the job done.
Yeah, you've kind of alluded to this already, but just on Saturday at Lincoln, what are the things you want to see, and the things I suppose that will contribute hopefully to a positive result?
Being hard to beat. The basics of defending, and we know we can be better at those. That's certainly got the personnel to be able to defend our box. It's just maybe an alertness, a moment of switch off. It's certainly not bravery. We've got some real brave defenders in that back line, but can we do it for 95 minutes? That's the art of being a top defender. So let's see that first. Let's be hard to beat first, because I know we've got the quality in the building to score goals at any given moment in the game. But let's go there with a real resilience and a hard to beat spirit.
A couple of key words from that: resilience and work hard, be hard to beat. That away from home is necessary, so necessary, isn't it?
Of course, I think he's got the experience in the back four, but as he's saying, you keep a clean sheet. That's one of the hardest things to do, because he knows up front we've got players who can create and score goals, and that's always going to, when the opportunity presents itself, we've got the quality to do that. But that's no good if you can see 1 or 2 goals. We did it in midweek and came back. Luckily, you can't keep coming back all the time. So your basis is hard to beat, clean sheet, concentration, like you said, for 95 minutes. It's a task as a defender. Every time you've got to concentrate and be at your best to win any game. So there's a real base. If you keep a clean sheet, we come away with a point. But knowing the quality we've got up front, we can go on and create opportunities, providing we are structured and organised, to keep the goals out. You
played in defence, so was there ever a time in your head where you went into a game when you may have conceded quite a few goals and thought, well, we're going to concede again? Obviously, you can't allow that to come into your brain, but does that happen? Oh, for sure. Confidence. If you're losing games and goals are coming in, you find it hard, to think, where's the clean sheet coming from? But it's not just the back four. It's obviously the system they play. It's obviously the players up front. They always say defending starts from your striker. Organising where your team's set up, good discipline, and concentration is key. It really is. If you concentrate for 95 minutes, as the gaffer's just said there, then you give yourself every opportunity to go and win a football game. We made this point last week about the players that are in that defence. You look at Cornel Such and Victor Poulsen are international footballers. They play. Cornel Such has got 1 cap for Hungary, but he's on the radar. Poulsen's played 50 times, I think, for Iceland. Matti Soranola's played most of his career in the Championship, that sort of level and above. Brendan Wiradu comes in this time, but it would have been Brendan Galloway, another international player. So they're good defenders, these guys. Yeah, of course they are. And experienced, really experienced. And they should be leading by example. And the youngsters should be looking up to them. But if they're having a bad time, then that's a real worry, Charlie, because the experienced players will dictate, they're organised, they'll know, the decision making is key, when to clear your lines, when to play it from the back. Don't take risks openly away from home. Don't take the risk that's going to invite the opposition to come onto us, and really lift the home crowd. So, play the game in the right way, be aggressive, concentrate, and give yourself every opportunity right throughout the team to go and win the game. And the carrot is there with back-to-back home matches to come. Tuesday night, next Saturday, Orient and Blackpool. That if you do get a positive result today, and obviously you've got to go and win those other 2 games, but you've put yourself in a great opportunity to actually start a run, potentially. Yeah, definitely. I think winning at home park was massive midweek against QPR, scoring 3 goals. If you then go and win on the road, you come back from there full of confidence, taking that win, and that momentum is key into the next 2 home games, and it could be a massive month for us. Yeah, mentioned what it could be like up there for Lincoln if they get on top. They've got good support, but 1,000 Argyle supporters have gone up again. Yeah, incredible support. It's amazing. And they're going to be needed right throughout the season, and you always talk about the 12th man, and great support for them. They've got some serious miles to do this season,
And I think their support, is magnificent.
Yes, let's hope they can come away with a bit of cheer today. Let's head into the opposition dugout now then. It was a win in their first game, followed up by defeat, but victory like Argyle in midweek. Michael Skubala is the Lincoln head coach, and these are his thoughts ahead of today's game.
I was just having a quick read of what your opposition managers had to say ahead of the weekend. I think he called your side a direct side. Is that fair, do you think? Or do you not see that as a positive or a negative, and that's actually a compliment to the
I don't know anymore. I don't know what right is in football. I would call us a front-footed side. Direct, if you want to call it direct, that's no problem to us. But, I think what we do is try and find a way to cause damage to the opposition how they want to play. So if they want to keep the ball and we have to go after it and press to try and score from that way, we'll do it that way. If we have to play forward quick, we'll play forward quick. But we're very adaptable in our structure. Our identity is our principles rather than having the ball 100 passes between the keeper. But then if we need to build in that way, we can. So I'm not too fussed what people call us, if I'm honest. I'm more about what we are and who we are and what we want to be. And we want to be front-footed, exciting, and go after teams, and especially at home, take it to the opposition. How they see it and view it is up to them. How I see and view other people is up to me as well. So.
And when it comes to Plymouth, a lot of change there, both in terms of playing staff and obviously the manager change. Is it good to play a side like that early on in the season when maybe they've not got settled down into the way they want to play?
Oh, I don't know. I'm not sure when it is to play a good side, but I think, I don't think they've got going yet for sure. I don't think, when you look at their squad and the power they've got in the team and how they're trying to do, obviously they're trying to adapt with a new manager and a new style of playing, a new way of playing, new things going on. But I don't think they've got going in the league yet, so it'd be good for them to come to our place and hopefully we can do the business. But I think they will grow. I think they'll grow into where they are, but I don't think they are, their level of player and how they are is where they should be in the league at the moment. But we saw that last season a couple of times. We saw Leyton Orient didn't get off to a great start, and then all of a sudden they bumped on. So hopefully, if it is a good time to play, maybe, but we've still got to go and do our job.
Quite interesting thoughts that, actually, Mark. Just saying that he Michael Skubala, doesn't think Argyle have got going yet, which I think a lot of Argyle fans would agree with. And potentially it could be a good time to play us. It is. I don't know. I just find that quite an interesting thing that he expects more from us.
Yeah, it's a bold statement, isn't it? I think new manager, new players. Yeah, it does take time to bed in, and as we said, with the league table coming out after 10 games, I think you look at that and reflect on 10 games. And to say that, very interesting way he said he likes to play in the opposition half. I think he'll force it onto the opposition if they try to play out from the back. They'll do that if they need to, the way they set up, if their game allows them to. But I don't think he's one of these players who's going to, like he said, make 100 passes to go and score a goal. He likes to put pressure on, gives the ball into the final third, really put the opposition under pressure. That's what he's trying to say. And hopefully make them mistakes. Yeah,
which is what Argyle have to be aware of, because we saw it against Bolton, didn't we, on a couple of occasions, trying to play out for the back. It worked a couple of times. On others, Bolton smothered them.
Yeah, exactly. I think if you have conceded goals, they would have looked at all the analysis and think they will concede goals, and they have already in all 3 games. So I think if we get the ball into them and put them under pressure, they will concede. That's what his mindset is for his team. Whereas cleverly he's looking up and saying, okay, we're more structured, we got better players, we can play out from the back and a bit more finesse. So it's set up to be an exciting game.
This has the hallmarks of a clip that could be chopped up and put on social media, and then people will throw egg on our faces. But with Argyle having come down and the expectations to do well, these are games that are going to be really difficult. Lincoln away, they always have been. They historically have been for Argyle as well. But if there are realistic expectations to do something in this division, there are also games where you look at and you think, to be near the top, you've got to at least get a result, but you've got to win these types of games that could easily go the wrong way against you, couldn't they?
Yeah, I think at the start of any season, you can lose games, but you can't keep coming from behind all the time. Yeah, we could put a statement down today. We really could, by beating Lincoln and then going on to them 2 home games. And all of a sudden, we've got a great start to the season, and it gives you momentum, and you can stay in there. If you're constantly getting beat away from home and relying on the pressure at home to go and win games, it becomes a real bitty season. It really does. And we know it along seasons, lots of twists and turns. 46 games are enough to sort out any season. But to put a real marker down this afternoon, go there and beat Lincoln. Back the midweek game up and, show your authority. I think the confidence from midweek will definitely help. But these are the games they're winnable. That's what I'm trying to say. Is you can go there and win this game, but they got to believe they can win the game.
Yeah, it will be tricky. 24 years since Argyle's last win there. There has been 4 games there since, a draw or 3 draws, a defeat in there as well. But having said that, it is an opportunity. What do you want to see from Argyle particularly today? What are the key things?
Well, I think after watching midweek and the Bolton game, I think we started superbly well against Bolton. Went behind against QPR and managed to fight back. So that's what I think when the manager's saying we are a little bit unbalanced at the moment. They're trying to find that key ingredient. But we've got to start the game well. We can't, and stay in the game for me. It's key you stay in games like the 20 minutes and 60 minutes from the Bolton game. A key moments in the game. Stay in the game. And when the opportunity presents itself, can we take it? Normally away from home, you don't get lots of opportunities and lots of chances. So when they do present themselves, can we take it? Can we be responsible enough and have that quality to take them? And stay in the game. Look, we've gone there for a point. We could leave with a point, but if we can get all 3, it'll be a fantastic week.
It absolutely would. Will Argyle be able to back up victory in midweek then and get their league campaign off and running properly? If you haven't already, go and get your match passes. £2.50 if you are in the UK and want to listen to the game. £10 if you live outside the UK and want to watch it. Obviously, that is included in your international subscription if you are already a subscriber. Head to pafc.co.uk for all of the details. Right then, I think we are pretty much ready to go. I'll hand you across to our commentary team in the LNER Stadium in just a moment. It's former Argyle midfielder Lee Makel and Rob McNichol. But Argyle's trip to Lincoln is up next.